Mr. Douglas, good morning. Hey, everybody. My name is Dean Harris. I'm your Vice President of CrestCore Realty, and welcome to the Investor's Guide to Memphis Real Estate Podcast, the podcast where we give out-of-state investors the boots-on-the-ground knowledge they need to be informed, savvy, and win in the Memphis real estate game. As always, as I mentioned, I'm joined by Douglas Skipworth. Douglas is our founder, principal broker of CrestCore Realty and of CrestCore Property Management, and you're our largest management client as well. So we're happy to have you as usual.
Glad to be here.
Today, we're really excited. Everybody's all charged up. Today is our zip code breakdown.
Yes.
We're going to begin this today. It's going to be a little bit longer, probably single podcast than we normally do.
Okay.
But as always, we're going to break these down into individual clips, get those out to you when we source property for you and that sort of thing. So we shouldn't even waste any time.
No.
Let's dive right into this. We're going to give you a ton of information today. We're going to give you pricing, percentages of breakdowns from January 1st, 2021 to June 30th of 2021. We're going to compare that 6-month time frame to January 1 of 22 to June 30th of 22.
Perfect.
So we're going to give you, it's a where we're at right now this year compared to where we were at right now this time last year.
Perfect.
So you can get an idea of kind of where things are going, numbers wise, how we're moving along. We're going to start in the northern western part of our area, our metropolitan location here. We're going to go 38127, and then we're just going to move on. So I'm going to give you some details on pricing and percentages of numbers that have gone up and down, and then we're going to look over at you for some property management data and some information there. So let's dive right into this, guys. We're going to start with 38127. It's Frayser, Frayser. Frayser is one of the first, historically, it was one of the first community subdivisions that was developed. I believe it was in the 50s.
Yeah.
If my mind is right, 40s and 50s.
Post-war stuff.
That's right. And the city went up north and it started in Frayser. It was a premier area, and that's why it's holding now, I believe. The brick homes.
Very well built.
Yeah, very well built. So a lot of that is holding up. Let's give you some Frayser numbers now. From January 1 of 21 to June 30th of 21, there were 561 sales. 1,200 square feet was the average. 60,000 was the average sales price. From January 1, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, that's gone up.
That's gone up. From January 1 of 22 to June 30th of 22, 598 sales.
Okay, so it was
1,229 square feet, just a tad up. 76,832.
Yeah.
That percentage jump is 6.6%, and the average price jump was 28.5%.
Yep. 30%, 25, 30%.
Price increase,
which we saw
from this time last year to right now.
Yes.
We saw every bit of it, and I'm still holding true from an opinion standpoint on Frayser that anything west of Highway 51 is still risky. I'm not going to tell you that you can't make that work. I used to come on here and say, forget it. No chance. Stay away. You're never going to make it work. I will say that it's in the southern part of that. So if you're west of 51, the southern part of that western part is better than the northern part of it. Yeah. The southern part, there's been some...
it's more attached to the city.
Yes.
North Haven and that, when you get out there, it's just kind of off the beaten path, where the southern southwestern part is still attached. And it's not, I mean, you just skip down Whitney and around, and you're downtown.
You're downtown.
So,
it's 5-10 minutes from a downtown trip. Tell me a little bit about, so that's sales standpoint.
So, and I would say I would say part of that too is that neighborhood has transitioned from a owner occupant neighborhood to maybe, I don't have the stats on owner absentee owners, but probably a predominantly renter based neighborhood. So it's transitioned. So it's probably it's better, exciting things are happening out there.
Yeah.
So on the western side, or back on the eastern side, in the western side of Raleigh where they meet, there's the Nike and the Amazon and stuff.
Yes.
But from a property management standpoint, as you know, it's one of the big rental areas of Memphis.
Yes.
Manage hundreds of rental properties out there. Rents are or have increased. They're touching 1,000. It's still mostly under $1,000 out there. You might find a big 3.2, a 4.2 that might get over 1,000, but it's probably going to be in that still $700, $800, $900 range.
Yes.
Depending on a 2.1 to a 3.2.
Yes. And one thing you and I spoke about that we'll say several times during these podcasts is that those $700 and $800 tenants from a rental standpoint 2 years ago were $500 to $650 tenants. So you can, although your rent's going up a little bit, I still think your tenant base is they're making more money. They've gotten whatever. The prices of the homes have increased. Go a little bit. I would say they've almost caught up more. They've probably increased more than the rents have, such that you're closer to that 1% rule in Frayser. Although you might be able to get a $800 rental for a $70,000, $75,000 price. Yes,
maybe
if you search and you look long enough.
But you're not having to pay $100,000 for $800 rent.
No, and I wouldn't suggest it over there. I just don't think you have to do that. I think there's plenty of brick homes that are 3.1 or better. 1,100 square feet. You can just see the data. I mean, I just told you it's 1,200 square feet.
Yep.
3.1, 3.1.5, 3.2. I mean, all those are going to rent all day long.
All day long.
I've got a couple up there. I know you've got a few up there.
Yes.
So anything east of Highway 51, I am extremely confident in.
Yeah.
Try to stay with a brick home. Anything west of Highway 51, I'm still telling you to use some caution. I'm a little softer on my stance on it. So I still think you can make it work. Before we dive in any further, guys, Chandler Reports is the data source for all of this. ChandlerReports.com. Please go to their website. You can.
They've got some free data out there. They have
excellent. Some free data, and then for not very much money, you can get all of the data. This
Correct.
is every transaction in the city of Memphis, whether it's through an agent or through it's just an arm's length transaction.
They put appraiser data in there. It's excellent data for sure.
It's extremely in depth. So I would encourage you to visit ChandlerReports.com. All right, so that's 38127. Anything different on there before we wrap it up? Anything wild?
No, I've been driving up there a lot recently, and it is just a solid rental neighborhood.
Yes. And
has been for years and years, and most likely will be for years and years.
So
don't
if you
see anything drastically changing.
No, hadn't in forever.
Not in the 20 plus years I've been driving up there.
No. So if you have any questions on 127, let me know. But I'm east, I'm still fine. West, use some caution, and those numbers are exactly what we thought they would be. All right, let's bump east to 38128. This is where I bought my first rental property. Raleigh is what they're calling it.
Rockin' Raleigh.
the hill of Rockin' Raleigh. I grew up out there till middle school or a little later, and Raleigh Springs Mall used to be the center of it. They've taken that mall down. It's now, I think, a business center for the city.
Community or government. Yeah, it's great.
So it looks
Skate
very
park,
nice.
They've done a nice job.
They've done a really good job.
There's a Starbucks across the street. I mean, they put some investment in there, and people have come into it. So it's good. Yeah,
I'm excited about what they're doing in Raleigh. So January 1 of 21 to June 30th of 21, there were 383 sales. 1,428 was the average square foot. 96,151 was the average price. January 1, 22 through June 30th, 22, we had 459 sales. Same square feet, 1,498. But our average sales price was $127,000. That's up 32.1% from this time last year.
Yeah.
So, I've said this again. I've said it many times. But if you listened a year ago and you bought in Raleigh, you can see where you've made money. A lot of it.
Yeah, a lot of it.
So Raleigh to me, and we'll get right to the rental numbers. Raleigh to me, with the Nike plant that's 750,000 square feet, the Amazon distribution center right behind it that I think is 1 million square feet, the continuance of the jobs and what we've mentioned, some of the government community stuff that's been coming into there, to me, keeps this area super strong, super bullish on it. I mean, I'd anything that I can find in Raleigh that makes sense, I take it. Anything, or I push it out, I sell it, I promote it. Anything I can, from the buying standpoint. What about rental numbers?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the same. I would say it's a neighborhood that transitioned, but there's still more owner occupants in that neighborhood, which keep the values high, and they're bigger houses.
Bigger house.
So you noticed that there was a bigger house than a Frayser house. So
Yeah.
you got higher rents, more room, more bedrooms, bathrooms, and higher prices, higher rents.
Yes.
Another hundreds of properties in Raleigh
Yeah.
that are managed,
Yeah.
and it's a great rental market. Has been, and I think it would only continue to improve.
I don't see anything other than it getting better. And I think next year, I don't know if we'll have a 38% increase again, but I bet we have 15 again.
Yeah, and it's still a competitive market,
Yeah.
and people desire to be there. I mean, Austin P is a thoroughfare, and then Singleton Parkway, when you're going up north, more stuff's happening north. We're going to talk about some of that stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's a big thoroughfare. So it's just a super convenient. You're close to I-40. You're close to getting into East Memphis. It's a convenient location, and you can still get a lot of house for a good price, both as a investor and as an owner occupant, which again is why that's a desirable area to rent, and it's holding.
So from a historical standpoint, we mentioned, okay, you got your city in your downtown. The first suburb in the 40s or wherever was
right
Frayser.
north of town. Yeah.
Well, then out east in suburb was 38128. So you saw some bigger, nicer homes that were brick. They're of course not updated designs, right? Because it was back then, but you still got big homes that are brick, 2-car garage you can find in a lot of areas. So I'm around Craigmont High School. So if you guys are searching your map, when you see Craigmont High School, anything around those areas is fantastic.
And rents have already increased 1,000, and I think it's more rare to see them below 1,000.
You're exactly right. If you get an $850, $900 rental in Raleigh, I think you're doing pretty good. If you want low, right? If you're looking for the average, $1,200, $1,250,
yes,
$1,300.
it's moved. Everything's north of 1,000 in Raleigh.
Yeah. All right, so I'm loving Raleigh,
which is a change from 5 years ago. Everything was below. Was pushing 800 to 1,000. Now it's easily over 1,000. So we've had that rent growth. We've talked about that before. But
the Nike and Amazon plant to me
have been great.
Are what's really driving it.
Yeah, it's been great.
Have you been out there at 3:30
in the afternoon?
Oh, it's a nightmare. I mean, I feel like it's an NFL football game that is getting out right then.
Right. Yeah.
And everybody's coming out and do it. It's a madhouse.
It's awesome.
Raleigh's great. I'm super strong on Raleigh. Anything you send me in Raleigh, I'm going to stick with really good. Okay, let's move to the Bartlett zip codes. There's 3 Bartlett zip codes. This area, we go ahead and mention Blue Oval. I think this is the first time we can mention Blue Oval.
I like that.
That is Ford's electronic vehicle division. They are opening up their world headquarters in Brownsville, Tennessee, which is 40 minutes north of here. From Raleigh, or from Bartlett area, I bet it's 20 minutes, 25 minutes from there, which in the grand scheme of things is a super short commute.
Super short.
Bartlett has historically been a suburban owner-occupant area. I still believe that 2 of the 3 zip codes are still owner-occupant dominated. 134, I think, is probably switching to more tenant-based. So let's give some numbers here real quick. We'll start with 38134. From January 1, 21 to June 30th, 21, we had 309 sales. 1,733 was the average square feet. Average price was $174,598. January 1 of 22 through June 30th of 22, 377 sales, 1,745 square feet, and the average sales price was $210,000. That's a 20.5% jump in just 12 months time frame. So that's I think I might make sure I'm reading that right.
Yeah, you are.
Because
it's a desirable area.
It is a desirable area for not only tenants and homeowners,
for people to live,
but investors, hedge funds, private investors like us. 38134 is super popular. You got everything you could have over there. Shopping.
Yep.
What is that? Stage Road that runs right through it. Stage and where's that Freeman Park at? What road is that?
Sycamore View.
Sycamore View. So you've got all of that runs through there. Yeah. Super popular. Brick.
Right. And we didn't mention this in Raleigh, but that's part of what makes Raleigh desirable is because it's so close to Bartlett. Because Bartlett is very desirable. It's its own municipality.
Yes. There's the key for our area. It's its own municipality, own school district.
Yes. Own police force. So
everything.
It makes a difference. You got to watch some on the rental side, because the code enforcement's a little stricter. Then then Shelby County or city of Memphis because
sidewalks can't be tore up.
Yep, got it. So it's a higher price point, but it's a higher rent.
And I don't mind stuff like fix the sidewalk. I don't mind. I mean, it's a pain if you're buying, and I own out there, so it's a pain. But I mean, come on. I mean,
it keeps the community really nice.
Whole. Yeah,
it's pretty.
All right, so that's I don't have anything but positive things to say. I don't have one drawback from it. I mean, it's the school system.
I'm out there a lot. We got several folks who we work with who live out in Bartlett, love it.
Yeah,
always have. Grew up there.
Right.
It's a great place.
All right, 38134 we've done. Let's do 38133. It's going to be a little bit higher end. More resident, owner, occupant dominant. Okay. January 1 of 21 through June 30th of 21, we had 216 sales. 1860 was the square feet average. 219,550 was our average sales price. From Jan 1 of 22 through June 30th of 22, we had 250 sales. 1851 square feet, about the same. 267,000 for a 21.6% increase.
Yeah.
Everybody that's listening, if you were listening a year ago or 2 years ago, or God forbid, even 4 or 5 years ago when we started this podcast, if you started to buy and you bought when we were saying now is the time, you are sitting on money and equity. You're
for sure. In
a
Bartlett.
good bit of it. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. This 38133 area, it's a little more of the northern part of it. This might apply a little bit more to Blue Oval.
100%, because part of it is hugs right up against I-40. And we are a little more east of, or I guess back west of that. We're at exit 8, just right here.
Yeah.
It's exit 40 for Blue Oval City.
Not far.
And Bartlett right there. And then that's right where you're hitting exit 16, exit 18 at Wolf Chase. And you're a hop, skip, and a jump out there to, I mean, that's 20 miles, 25 miles. So you will have lots of people living in that area, renting in that area, shopping in that area, eating in that area, because
that's the point we're trying to make with Blue Oval is, and maybe we should have done a better job explaining that. It's going to start off with 3,500 jobs. Yeah. It's going to end with 8,000 jobs.
Right.
So these aren't going to be all warehouse jobs either.
No,
we're talking
these are electronic vehicles.
This is going to be a little bit different group of workers and people that they're going to be bringing in. Like,
they're higher end jobs for all their workforce.
Big time.
And the suppliers.
And I think all the people moving in, Douglas, just from all over, because they're not going to find the 8,000 people they want here. They're going to bring some of those people in. They're going to have no problem driving 20 minutes from Bartlett to Blue Oval to do because there's not enough in Brownsville. So if you guys are thinking right now, let's go invest in Brownsville. Well, good luck. There's just not enough there, right?
And the infrastructure is a different county. They're not set up for it. I mean, you would want to be in Shelby County.
Yeah, golly, I guess it's a great point. Please don't take out of this that we're saying go and invest in Brownsville, because I'm not saying that. I'm actually saying invest outside of Brownsville, because most of the people that are going to come and move here are not going to move to Brownsville to live.
It's a rural town. It's going to be great for Brownsville, and but it's a ways away.
It's a ways away before any of that is attractive, right? All right, that's 38133. So let's go to 38135. Extremely similar, heavy. This is Ellendale, Bartlett area. This will be heavy owner occupant. Price points might be there for a rental, but might not. January 1 of 21 to June 30th of 21, we had 338 sales. 2,119 square feet was our average. 241,211 was our price point, right? Yeah. All right. So same time, Jan 1 of 22 through June 30th of 22, we've got 344 sales, basically the same amount. 2,000 square feet, a little bit lower. So that's 100 square feet lower, but our average sales price is 281,840
about today.
That's the highest one we've talked about for a 16.8% increase. I mean,
it's tough for rentals. I mean, you're pushing $300,000 rental houses. Hard to get a $3,000 rent. You can get it out there, but it's tough.
I think you can get it, but it's tough, and
just not as many renters to choose from.
Not now.
Well, man, great point. Look at me.
But I do think that in 5 to 10 years,
yes, that's exactly right.
If
you got to be looking out.
Yeah. That's going to be a $3,500 rental and a $400,000 house value wise.
Not to mention, you got a better market as people come for what we were just talking about, Blue Oval City. I mean, I got my blinders on and I got to put my head out of the sand and go, wait, where's this going to be? Not where it is today. Where's this going to be? And It's very desirable because it not only is 40 this way, but just north of it is 385, and you can get on 385, and there's so much room, as we've talked about, north of 385.
I just feel like in these 2-3 zip codes in Bartlett specifically, and you and I have talked about this, the numbers might not make the best sense. Golly, man, this does not look exactly how I want it to look. Take that out of the equation and fast forward 10 years, and that $2,500 rental is not going to be a $3,200 rental or $3,300 rental. That $300,000 house is not going to be a $385 valued house. You're going to be sitting in a lot better position.
Yeah.
So, and that's what we've done. And I have, by the way, I think I told you about the client that brought that up to me to look like that. I'm like, golly, man, that is such a brilliant way to think about it, because we preach this every day that you have to stay with this for the long haul.
Right.
We don't do buy and holds to hold for 6 months. We do buy and holds to hold.
Right.
Hold all the way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We want to hold it. And that's what you should plan on, right? Our city has so much room to go.
And I think naively in the past, too conservative, have said, hey, let's err on the side of kind of downside risk management and to protect ourselves by not assuming rent increases, not assuming appreciation, and just having that be the gravy on top, which has been great.
Yeah.
But it has also prevented so much wealth creation because you didn't go after properties that pushed the envelope today that 10 years later look like you're a genius.
And the prior podcast we did was, if you want to look savvy and be smart in 5 years, buy now.
Yeah.
It's not, is this the right time? I had a conversation yesterday with a client. Is this the right time? Yeah, it sure is. Because in 5 years from now, this is going to look way different.
And to use a stock market term, dollar cost averaging, where you're kind of going in all the way at different points to kind of keep it smooth. Go ahead.
I'm good.
Zips. We need to keep going with zips.
All right, Arlington 38002. Arlington is going to probably blow us away here. Let's see where it's at on my list. Arlington is a heavy dominant owner occupant area. The housing, they're going to be large houses, 3,000 square feet.
Manage a handful out there that are great. I mean, you're talking $1,500, $2,000, $2,500 rents all day long, getting close to it's 002.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it on my list.
It's the very first one. It's top one.
Oh my gosh, that's why I couldn't
it's
find
in that gray.
Okay, Arlington. From January 1 of 21 to June 30th of 21, we had 536 sales. 2,592 square feet was the average. An average price was $353,000. From Jan 1, 22 to June 30th of 22, 470 sales, so they took a dip. 2,600 was the square feet, basically the same. 424,000 was our average sales price for another 20.3% increase.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense right now for rentals. If I don't even think it makes sense right now for that 10-year outlook long term. I just don't think you're going to be able in Arlington to buy a $400,000 house right now that's going to rent for more than $2,200. It might be worth $500 later, but
that's what I was going to say.
So you could get some appreciation play.
There's no doubt.
If you wanted to look at it from that standpoint.
Because it's the closest developed city, that in Oakland.
To Blue Oval City.
Oakland and Arlington. And Arlington is in Shelby County. Oakland's in Fayette County, so there's some differences there. But Arlington, I mean, it's a hop, skip, and a jump to Blue Oval City.
Oh, it's nothing. The school, it's same as Bartlett. The school district there is its own municipality.
Yeah.
Government, police, fire, et cetera. All of that is their own. It's extremely desirable.
So if you're not looking for immediate cash flow, if you're wanting appreciation, if you're 1031 exchanging, if you're doing something where you just want to park some money and watch it grow over time by putting maybe, hey, I'm going to put a little bit in every month, depending, or if you're all cash investor, you'll have a lot of appreciation over time.
And the people moving here from the West Coast, because you know that's where some of these Blue Oval City are going to come from. Buying a $500,000 house in Arlington with a 15-minute drive, they'll feel like they won the lottery. They'll feel like they won the lottery that they can get 4,000 square feet, half an acre, a pool for $500,000. They're going to think they won the lottery. So Arlington, from an appreciation play, is going to be there. I don't believe if for a long term buy and hold rental, if you're looking for that cash flow, it's the best move. But if you like the appreciation play, you just want to, like you said,
or all cash
1031
investor
park it.
who can, you're looking to get some monthly cash, but you're looking for a build up over time.
Yeah.
You'll get it.
Arlington's it. Okay. Let's move on to Lakeland.
I think it falls in that 002.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So those
So
same
it's just
numbers
it's on the western edge of 002 and Arlington's on the eastern edge.
Okay. So then clump in Arlington or clump in Lakeland with your Arlington numbers. It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. I mean, they're developing the Lake District. I mean, it's a similar situation. Hard for cash flow, but unless you're a cash investor, but also great for appreciation.
Love that area, and it's going to hold value.
Increase in value
for sure. Let's move to Cordova. They have 2 zip codes in Cordova, 38016 and 38018. Here we go. All right, we'll start with 16. January 1 of 22 to June 30th of 22, 513 sales. 2,200 was the average square feet. 244,354 was our average sales price. Jan 1 of 22 to June 30th of 22, 556 sales. 26 square feet average, basically the same. 294,449 for another 20.5% increase. I mean, I got nothing to say about Cordova other than positive stuff from a rental standpoint, and the hedge funds have dominated it.
Dominated. The big Wall Street private equity groups, hedge funds, publicly traded REITs love Cordova.
Love it. Germantown Parkway is the epicenter, the middle, the heartbeat.
Yep.
It's got every shop and restaurant and everything you could imagine on Germantown Parkway. You go north of there and it just starts subdivisions. The houses go from what feels like eternity. But Cordova, and let me just jump in here. Look, I'll give let's wait and separate them. But this part of Cordova is the northern part. Higher end of the part of Cordova, but still good school district. Cordova High School is a desirable school. So anything in Cordova, if you can make it make sense from a rental standpoint and the number standpoint,
1,500 minimum rent.
I think in Cordova for a 3-2 that has 1,200 or 1,300 square feet, the bare minimum is 1,500 rent. You can probably push 1,700 and 1,800.
Oh yeah, and lots of stuff rent for over $2,000 out there.
That's exactly right. 38018. This is south part of Cordova, almost the same, a little bit lower end. Let me give you those numbers. I believe, unless it's turned up, from Jan 1 of 22 to June 30th of 22, 444 sales. 2,148 was the square feet. 252,000 was the average price last year. This year, from Jan 1 to June 30th, 472 sales, 2,100 square feet, same, 296,182, 17.4% increase. Yeah. I mean,
they're both touching $300,000 house now.
I bought my first home in Cordova in 2002. It was a 3-2.
Personal owner occupant resident.
1,500 square feet, $130,000.
Yeah.
It's 325 in the neighborhood now. It's 120 something more than what it was 20 years ago.
Doubled.
I don't know that we'll go from 300 to 400 in Cordova in 20 years, but it's going to keep going up.
Yeah. And again, it's convenient, well located.
Easy to get to 40, easy to get to Walnut Grove that pulls you into the city. Mm-hmm. And if
Down
you have to go
Germantown.
south, you can take Germantown Parkway and go all the way south to Germantown in that area. So first time home buyer.
Which is where the Apple store is and the high-end shopping.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a great convenient location.
First time home buyers are out there. Second time home buyers are out there. People want to rent.
So upper middle class.
Upper middle class. College students live out there. There's an apartment base. It's a great rental pocket.
Yeah. Good solid middle class owner occupants and renters.
That's the kick is the tenant base out there is strong. Mm-hmm. Dual incomes typically, if one gets fired or laid off, you've got your rent coming in. Can't say anything else nicer about Cordova though. Mm-mm. I'm all for it if we can find it. All right, let's keep moving south. We're going to go down to Germantown, 38138 and 38139. You're not going to get a ton of rental numbers here, but if you want to play the appreciation game, I've had people ask me about Germantown, so I thought we'd give it. Jan 1 of 22 to June 30th of 22, 255 sales, 2820 square feet average, 380,000 was our average price point. For this year, Jan 1, 22 to June 30, 22, we had 272 sales. 2849 was our average square feet. 450,479 for an 18.5% increase. massive. If you, again, like Arlington, you want to come in and get something for an appreciation play.
Yeah.
1031 it. That's a great thing. These houses that are going for an average of $380,000 might rent for $2,700 to $3,200.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's quite the numbers you'll be looking at, but somebody might, right?
Somebody might, yeah.
They might, for whatever that reason be.
And it's a solid, very desirable neighborhood.
Yes.
Like I said, Apple Store, very high-end shopping, a lot of executive offices out there. I think International Paper, FedEx has got some executive offices around there.
Methodist Hospital.
So there's a lot of high-end owner-occupant living and shopping retail
right in
out
that
there.
area. Yeah. That's the middle part of Germantown. Now you go out east, 38139.
Oh.
This is a little further. This is going to be a little bit more difficult to make any sense of, but
so
I want to give the
expensive.
numbers. Jan 1 of 2021 to June 30th, 182 sales, 3875 average square feet, 572,000.
Yep.
This year, Jan 1 to June 30th, we had 124 sales, 3,900 was the square feet average, 691,
Man.
325, 691,000 is the average for a 20%.
Yeah.
Man, 20% increase from a $500,000 home. God,
And those were the homes that people
buy?
were bidding, 30 offers, all cash, no contingencies.
Yeah, let me walk through it once and it's fine.
So that'll probably slow down a little bit on the appreciation.
Yeah.
But it's a great market.
Houston High School is the high school for Germantown.
Oh, it's a great high school.
I went to
Old
high school
Germantown
out
High
there,
School.
the old Germantown High School. I went to high school out there, so I've spent a ton of time.
Yep.
What is it? Saddle Creek shopping center, high-end stuff that you can get. If you keep going a little further east, you've got Johnson Road, Houston.
And then you can get to Collierville.
Then you're going to hit Collierville, which we're going to, I think we put it on the list. No, we didn't because it's impossible. But you get out to Collierville.
It's even,
if you think the numbers that we just gave you in Germantown are tough to make rentals out of, it's even worse in Collierville. So we didn't even add it. If you want to flip or you want to have just an appreciation play for Collierville, if that's what you want to do, I think that'll work. But we lumped it in here with Germantown because it's going to be very difficult to make rental sense out of it.
Yes.
Okay.
Long-term buy and hold.
All right. So that's Germantown, the 2 zip codes there. Alec, are we okay? Make sure that we're good. All right. So let's move. We're in the southeast part of Shelby County now. So if you're looking at your map, we started up in the northwest part. We're kind of making a circle and we're coming back down. So now this is the area where I started my real estate career. All right.
Okay.
I worked for a builder.
There are a lot of new builds out there.
Yeah. The Shelby Drive, Riverdale intersection. There's Buckingham Farm subdivision right there. I bet I sold 250 homes in there. A ton of homes. They're still there. They're still great properties. They were all bricked in.
Yeah.
And 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, 2-car garage. Very close to 385. So when you take the interstate out from Memphis, you go 385, you can get out that way. So it's super easy to connect. Let me give you the numbers. Southeast Shelby County from Jan 1, 22 to June 30, 274 sales, 2,200 square feet. And the average price was $241,000. This year, Jan 1 to June 30th, 321 sales, 2,188 square feet, 279,977 for a 15.8% increase. What's the rental numbers over there?
They're awesome. I'll back them up. Not as many.
Yeah.
And it's not, it's a
this is FedEx employees, International Paper
managing
employees.
Dozens as opposed to hundreds. And you're talking minimum $1,500 rents
to $2,500.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just depending on the size of the house. There are some pockets in 38125 that I want to bring up and mention. There are some areas there with no city taxes.
Yes, out in their county only.
It's called unincorporated Memphis.
Yeah.
The likelihood that it's incorporated, I don't know. I'm not even going to give you a percentage, but it's been there for a long time. Okay. There's no city taxes. So that does save you $3,000 or $4,000 a month or a year on your city taxes. Maybe it's not quite that high. $2,500 for your city taxes. That can make a whole lot of difference in your cash flow. So there are some pockets in 38125.
Renters might not have the same city services, but they're in the city.
And they have no knowledge of it.
Yeah. And they're cool with that most of the time.
So 38125, like I said, FedEx employees, dual incomes in the household over there,
great.
and 2-car garage type properties is what we find in 125.
Close to Collierville and everything that's happened out there.
You're 5 minutes from Collierville and shopping.
Yep.
Tenant base can get anywhere in
Germantown
15 minutes.
Yeah, 385 to wherever.
Yeah, you're a stone's throw away from DeSoto County. So if you had to deal
and
with
so much is happening down there. Yeah, we can talk about that. That's helping southern Shelby County all across. I would say within 5 miles of the state line, they can go south now for any retail, restaurant. Still maybe north for entertainment, although there's some venues down there as well. So it's made southern Shelby County more attractive
sure
for everybody.
Yeah, sure has. That's a great point that I didn't think about. So 38125 is still, that's another one I'm still up on. You find something that makes sense in 38125, I'm all for it.
Yes.
All right, let's keep moving. 38141, we're going to keep taking this circle around. Yeah, I know. Here it is. Hickory Hills South is what they call 38141. January 1 of 21 through June 30th of 21, we had 228 sales. 1487 was the average square feet. $137,013 was our average sales price. This year, Jan 1 to June 30th, 250 sales, 1,500 square feet, $170,952 for a 24.8% increase.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yep.
A tick down from 38125.
Yeah.
You will get some properties with no garages or carports, or you'll get some with carports and not a garage. You'll get some with nothing, a parking, just a driveway. That's acceptable to the tenant base there. They're okay with that. Rents are going to go from, I would say, $900 to $1,300.
I was going to say pushing up to 17, pushing that 1% rule.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah. That's what we're seeing in 141.
So Hickory Hill, that 38141 area is still another one that if you find the right property, I'm all for it. Again, FedEx employee heavy because it's so close to the airport. You still have all major shopping, everything that you're looking for down in 38141 from a tenant base. Owner base, I still think, or the owner side of it, I think that tenant base is fine. It's not the best. It's definitely not the worst. So I think in 38141, it's just a tick down from 38125. From a value, from a tenant standpoint, totally can make it work. That is in a desirable place. One thing you see down there, and I'm sorry, I'm just going because all these things are clicking. Single family attached homes in 38141 are huge.
Yes,
those aren't duplexes.
Right.
They're
not condos, but they feel like condos.
They're literally
attached homes.
Yeah, if you say it out loud, it is single family attached. They just have one common wall.
Yeah, and
everything else is your own separate drive, separate everything, separate address. There's no unit A and unit B either. It's an individual parcel dwelling. So they call them single family attached. I've got 5 or 6, I think, and I love them. There's absolutely nothing wrong because there is a tenant base that doesn't want that yard. Right. They want a nice home and they want to be in that area, but they don't care anything about that yard, and that's what the tenant base we serve there. Anything else in 38141? 38115. I like this one.
Okay.
From an owner standpoint. It hasn't done anything other than just perform for me, but it's sticking out really well. This is Hickory Hill North.
And it had, again, when we talk about it has transitioned from owner occupant neighborhood to a renter owner occupant, maybe predominantly renter absentee owners. It's solid. It's a solid neighborhood that is not transitioning. Those are the hard ones, is when a neighborhood is in transition.
And we'll have some of those on here that will
this is not in transition.
This is not it. Historically been great.
Yep.
38115, same thing. January 1 to January 30th of 21, 200 sales even. 1625 square feet for an average price of $111,000. This year, check this out. From Jan 1 to June 30th of 22, 271 sales. So everybody's catching on.
Yeah.
1,638 square feet's the same. 139,827 for a 25.5% increase.
Yeah.
I love being right, but I mean, it's not like everyone has been right.
Yeah.
Everything is going up. Everything has increased from this time last year to now. I honestly think we're going to continue to do this. Maybe not quite at this clip, at this pace, but the demand for these in this area, especially this area, has not gone down at all. What about from a rental standpoint?
Huge rental area.
Same.
Huge rental area.
1,200
Yes.
to 1,800.
Yeah.
So basically in that 1% rule again.
1%
for
rule.
38115.
Yes. And again, it's such a convenient location. So close to 385 and to 40. You can get
airport
anywhere.
where there's jobs. The homes are mainly brick. I will say in 115 you can get a few more garages than you can in like the 141 area. For whatever reason, when they developed that 141, they just went without a lot of it. But 115,
there's
get
some
garages.
condos and duplexes down there, so there's
Condos.
some opportunities to cash flow.
Yep.
If you're more interested in cash flow, a condo
Yeah.
or a duplex might provide some of that.
This is around Winchester.
Uh-huh.
You can still get the single family attached home here in 115.
Yep.
I've got 2 here in 115. I was just thinking about. So yeah, I'm very strong and bullish on 115 Hickory Hill North.
Yeah,
Okay.
manage a lot there.
Anything else on that one?
No, great.
Okay. All right, let's just keep cruising.
Yeah, let's do it.
38118 Oakhaven, Parkway Village. I'll take 50.
Yeah, one of the best rental areas in town.
I'll take 50.
Neighborhood transitioned
Yeah.
years ago.
Big time. And this was super desirable. This is one of those spinoffs from when Whitehaven was developed as a luxury area. This was kind of the part 2 of that. So let me give you the stats. January 1 to June 30th of 21, 309 sales, 1,413 square feet, 84,000 was the average sales price. This year from Jan 1 to June 30th, 369 sales, same square feet, 112,822 for a 34.1% increase. Hello.
Yeah. That's where everybody went.
Hello. 38118. How fantastic. And there's a reason why. It's near the airport. One level homes for the most part. Bigger yards. They're all brick houses.
Yeah, I was driving over there the other day.
Again, from 38116 was Whitehaven, Graceland, Elvis. Everyone wants to live there.
Yep.
This was the
Back east.
back east. Let's come back out. Some more affordable housing in 38118. And if you drive through there now and you didn't know that it was a tenant strong area, you'd think it's owner occupant strong. The area has held up pretty good. There's some streets that aren't,
Right.
but it's held up pretty good.
It's solid
from that
houses,
standpoint.
brick, well built.
Yeah.
Been around.
Rentals range 800 to 1,200.
Yep. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
might even get some $700 duplexes in that area. I will tell
That's
you
right.
in 118, the only negative or the only thing I tell people to be cautious of, there is Dobbins Ferry area, that street. There are some streets and pockets with nothing but duplexes.
Yeah. Yep.
Be
Familiar with
careful
them.
of that.
Yeah.
You've got a whole street full of $600 tenants that you might not want. You might be thinking, I'm buying this duplex for 150 grand. I'm going to, that's a solid investment. But and it can be, but you got to understand, you're going to get 2 $600 to $650 tenants. And if you've done any research, that pocket of tenant is tough to manage.
It's
So
more challenging for sure. Yeah. But there are pockets of duplex streets down there.
So be careful.
Yeah.
And not saying those can't work at
Yeah.
all.
I know people, we manage them.
And I'm looking at it right now, but it's almost it's a square.
Yeah,
and then there's
Forest
streets
Glen.
in the middle. There you go.
I can't remember. I know exactly what you're talking
But
about.
Dobbins Ferry is one of them, and right in that just little pocket. Just be real careful. Not to say it can't work, but just understand what you're buying when you go in
Right.
there. Okay.
Good call.
So 38118. Still, I'm super strong on any. Really, we haven't got to any zip codes yet where I've said, hey, be careful. Anything I've mentioned so far in all these zip codes, if you can make it work, then I think you can make it work, and it's in areas that I would go in.
Yeah.
So we hadn't even hit any of those yet. Okay, that is 38118. All right, so let's move to 38116. This is Whitehaven. We just talked about 38118. 38116 is just west of 118. Elvis. I say this every year. I should get my sideburns on, but this is Elvis land, 38116. From January 1 to June 30th of 21, 219 sales, 1,724 square feet, 110,000 was our average sales price. This year, from Jan 1 to June 30th, 265 sales, 1,688 square feet, 137,436 for a 25.1% increase. Yeah. I mean, if you give me 25% every year over in, I mean, like, how great, right? Holy cow. So Whitehaven, you will find some big homes in Whitehaven.
Yep.
You'll find some 3,000 square foot homes in Whitehaven because when Elvis lived there, it was a luxury
it was great.
Neighborhood and community. There were big homes.
And still some nice big homes there. Still some owner occupants.
Big, nice high school that everybody likes
Whitehaven
down there.
High
Whitehaven
School.
High School. They're
It's
dominant
it's.
sports.
I've spent some time down there recently, and it's same as it's been. It's a nice community. A lot of pride of ownership for people.
Yeah.
Great rental community.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff. I mean, Elvis Presley Enterprises has put in the past 10 years. I mean, they built a hotel. They built an event center.
Yes.
Right now, the Elvis movie just came out. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a killer. So
A lot of stuff going on in Whitehaven. I'm
lot of stuff.
Extremely strong. I own several there. I know
Yeah.
you've got some down there. Anything in Whitehaven outside of a condo or something like that. I don't really like the condos and the multifamily stuff down there, but the single family properties, they're going to rent for $900 to $2,000. I've got an $1,800 rental in Whitehaven.
Big houses,
big nice homes that are down there. So I really am for Whitehaven, and the appreciation has been there.
Yeah.
So
say-
I literally have no complaints on Whitehaven.
No.
Close to the airport as well.
Yeah.
280 what's our interstate here?
We're 240 and 40s coming around down
Confused
below.
with Denver. I'm still calling it
51 goes straight up to downtown. And we'll get over to 3rd, and it goes to downtown. That's in 38109. But it's easy to. And what we keep mentioning is when you're in Whitehaven, Goodman Road has become a poplar avenue.
It sure has.
From Horn Lake to Olive Branch.
Yes.
And so when you're in southern Shelby County, like Whitehaven, you're shopping in South Haven,
Yes, you
Haven
are.
if you're living in Whitehaven.
You certainly are.
Yeah.
You're going down to all of those restaurants and shops and everything on Goodman Road. And, that is extremely appealing to a tenant base that they're that close to that kind
close.
of shopping.
And it's not, it's not what used to be it used to be in Whitehaven, then it left.
Yeah.
Now it's in South Haven.
Yeah.
And it's super convenient again.
And the tenant base there is really strong.
Yeah.
I don't want to say an absolute. I just don't have any issues out of my tenant base in Whitehaven.
There's a lot of pride in that community in the Whitehaven area. So, I mean, there's both civic pride all the way around.
Yes. So anything in 38116 is I'm positive with. All right, 38109. Part Whitehaven, part Westwood.
Yep.
They're going to call it Westwood, but there's part of 38109 that is in Whitehaven. So from Jan 1 to June 30th of 21, 357 sales, 1265 square feet average, 72,103. This year, from Jan 1 to June 30th of 22, 474. 475. That's 100. That's
a lot more sales.
Dang.
And a lot
1,228 square feet average.
Did it get to 100?
I did 86,741. Still a 20.3% increase. Now, you heard me talk about 38127 and how anything west of Highway 51 and 38127 is tough. Very similar rule in 38109. Anything west of Highway 61 and 38109 can be tough. Same reasons. You go for both 38127 and 109. You start going west towards the river, and
you can only go one direction at that point. You can only go back east.
Yeah, no commerce. Police don't even care to go over there.
Right.
I mean, there's literally nothing. You can just drive if you want to, and it turns into woods. And then there's
T.O. Fuller State Park, and I'm in the river, and there's not much out there. I agree.
It's I'll even tell you that over there is dangerous. I mean, you just don't want to get near that river and those areas over there. And you especially don't want to own anything over there. Now, what we've seen too, and this is what I want to make everybody aware of in 38109, you're having turnkey providers and other investors inch on over there.
They are.
Because the inventory is running low for their business plan everywhere else. So they are trying to slowly but surely change that area. I caution all investors on that. I only invest in areas that have been historically solid. I don't want any surprises, right? I'm also not going to get the big boom and appreciation or whatever if it ever comes.
Right.
But I'm okay with that. I want to play the long game, and I want to play the consistent game. And anything west of 61 and 38109 has been historically tough. I don't have any clients, put it this way. I got 0 clients that come to me and say, man, I am thriving west of 38109. I'm really making that work. I don't have any. Nobody's telling me that. East of 38109, you can get the brick homes, yards, closer to Whitehaven in the shopping. I don't have any problem with that. And that's where you're going to see most of the activity anyway. Yeah.
And again, maybe as you get farther south on 61 and you get closer to Horn Lake, you might have some opportunity to be closer, but up right off Brooks, and it's tough.
Real tough. Okay. 3117. We're going to move into an area where everything's great, right?
Okay. Yeah, man.
This is everybody loves this 38117 East Central Poplar Perkins area.
East
Memphis. You're going to see the numbers are going to be great. From Jan 1 of 21 to June 30th, 495 sales. That's a lot. 1,900 square feet average, 297,660 was our average sales price. Jan 1 to June 30th of 22, look how exact this is, 493 sales, 2 less. 1,700 square, 87, a little bit smaller house, but we've jumped to $319,097 for a 7.2% increase. Maybe one of our lower increased amounts outside of, some downtown stuff, but this area had boomed.
Because it had previously, it has always been a desirable. I mean, it's right in the heart of Memphis.
First-time home buyers that get out of school, University of Memphis, want to live there. It's a family.
That's where we bought our first house.
Okay, so see, you're seeing that pattern of you live there, you go to 38120, or you go into Germantown or wherever you want to go. But Park Avenue runs there. What's the park at Mendenhall and Park where they have the Italian Fest? Marquette Park's over there. The University of Memphis is right down the street. Overton Park, is that Overton? No, what is that? Audubon Park is right there. University of Memphis is building right there at Southern and
redoing their tennis center, $20 million. It's great. Yeah,
all kinds of things.
Poplar Perkins, Poplar Mendenhall, Poplar White Station, that corridor, everything you need.
Super attractive. I'd live over there. Yeah. We love that. My wife and I go eat dinner in that area at night. We love that area. So anything you can find in 38117, if you can. You'll get an appreciation play, maybe not nearly as much, but you'll also get that cash flow. Solid tenant. Maybe one of the better tenant bases in the city. All right, so really love 38117. All right, now, 38114. Orange Mound. Very tough.
Yeah.
One of my 3 zip codes that I say stay away from. Let me give you the numbers. From Jan 1 of 21 to June 30th of 21, 234 sales, 1,250 square feet, 71,000 is the average price. This year, Jan 1, 22 to June 30th, 263 sales, 1,297, 95,490, 34% increase.
Big increase.
This is one of those areas where
there's nowhere else to go.
There's nowhere else to go. It hasn't ever been touched from an investor standpoint consistently, right?
That's why for the price increase. Yeah.
The last couple of years, the inventory's been low everywhere that everyone wants to go.
Yeah.
So they're coming into this area and buying. It is one of the few areas that I'm going to tell you no.
Yeah. It's a challenge. It's a challenge. It's small lots. It's a little bit where you hear street by street. There's some owner occupants over there. I've been over there a lot recently, but they're just other opportunities. That's what I've always looked at it as like, there's why choose this when you can choose that? And
by the way, like I should say this early on, but like this is no judgment on the people of that area. I'm talking strictly from an investor standpoint. It's been hard to be a landlord owner over there.
Yeah. There's stuff happening in that neighborhood, and there's again a lot of civic pride. They're pouring some stuff into Melrose High School.
Yeah.
They're doing some other development in there. So it's a community that has been very similar. It just hasn't changed fast.
No.
And it's a challenging because of historic baggage it's dealing with.
Yes.
Some blight type of houses and stuff that make it hard.
Cigarette houses from the war. They came home and built a ton of those shotgun houses or whatever
make it hard.
Yeah.
It makes it
hard. It's just a difficult market. I can, go into more details later on, privately, but it's just tough.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough to own over there, and it's something I'd stay away from. Here's another one. 38106.
Mm-hmm.
This
Just
is
south of downtown.
Yeah, just south of downtown. This
of the
rubs
Forum.
up against the Forum. Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
going to say. This is, if I'm being perfectly honest, this has historically been an area you don't even really drive through.
No.
It's been tough. Like,
It's been tough.
is this tougher than 114 in your opinion? I think so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes. And it's on the fringe. The fringes of these neighborhoods are trying to transition, like just
So you're going to hear
of the Forum.
They're
doing some stuff.
I had a guy call me the other day and said, "Hey man, here's some new construction 106. What do you think?" I'm like, "Oh man, I just like it looks good. What's it going to look like in 5 years?" Like, there's my and this is, you're hearing some honest opinions here from someone who's lived here my whole life. I just caution you on 106. Yes, what you said. If you looked at that zip code on the fringes of it, because it's bleeding over into Midtown and bleeding over into some of those areas, yes, you can get a pocket where maybe that area is okay. But historically, 3106 has been bad. And
it's been very
I'm
very
never going to tell
challenge.
you to go buy a new home in that area and give you any kind of confidence that in 10 years that's going to be a solid property. I just can't. The tenant base is going to tear it up. It's not going to be what it looks like in 10 years. Yeah. And there's other opportunities.
There are other opportunities. And all I can say is, I kind of vote with my feet. And there's certain areas, and the areas that we mentioned that are awesome are the places I like to be, and the places that we're not is where I have been. I have probably owned in every zip code in Memphis. Right. But I don't anymore.
Right. Let me give you the numbers before we move on.
Yeah.
January 1 of 21 to June 30th, 183 sales. 1,278 square feet, 47,000 was the average sales price. So you hear what we're talking about. This year, from Jan 1 to June 30th, 200 sales, 1,274 square feet average, still 61,000, 30% increase. But I mean, what else could you do? I'm just, without going into much more detail, I'm just going to tell you to stay away. Tough tenant base. Not a whole lot of commerce and jobs.
Not much going for it.
It's just not much going. It's one of the areas I think we could use the most help. Yeah. Right. Yeah. All right. We'll keep moving. 38106, 38107. This is medical type district area. North Memphis, they're calling this. In my mind, I'm Frayser's North Memphis to me, but this is North Memphis, right below that area,
above Uptown, above the Pyramid.
Yes,
kind of New Chicago.
Yeah,
you could tell the stats.
Yeah, Jan 1 from 21 to June 30th, 197 sales. 1,500 average square feet, 126,000 is the average. They're catching something with that.
On that, yeah.
Let me finish this and we'll do it. This year, let's see, 210 sales, 1,500 square feet, 143,000 for a 14% increase. They have to be pulling in some of that
Uptown and Speedway Terrace.
Development that's around St. Jude. They have to be picking some of that up. Yeah. I'm not going to tell you can't make this work. I think you can for the right house in the right location. This is one of those where you might hear street by street is important.
The southern part of 107 is going to be by the Pyramid, the Pinch District, by St. Jude, by Harbor Town.
Sears isn't going to be there. Sears Tower.
Not Crosstown, not quite out that far. But I mean, it's a super convenient location with more and more stuff happening in the Pinch area.
Yeah,
it's going to be, again, you're on the fringe of very high end, so you can just be a couple streets over.
What you're saying is with 130 something thousand average, you're going to get some $50,000 houses, and you're going to get some $400,000 houses, and that might be what's pulling that average in. That's what you're going to get some bad stuff over there.
That's what you said.
Street by street in 107.
Yeah,
I think you can make it work, but just proceed with caution. Rents are what, 700 to 3,000.
Yes.
I mean, that's how wide it is, and it can be over there. 38112. In the past, I've talked about 38112 not as positively. I think today is going to be a little bit different change for there.
We manage a fair amount there.
This is the Rhodes College area. Mm-hmm. January 1 to June 30th of 21, 180 sales. 1,580 was the square feet. 173,883. From Jan 1 this year to June 30 this year, 231 sales. It's gone up. 1537 same square feet, 186,000 for a 7% increase. So that area was already
it's a little trendy
over near that Rhodes College area. Big homes, nice homes.
Yeah.
They've been there for forever.
My father-in-law lived there in the 40s.
Yeah. You can definitely find something in 112. Now, there is a pocket I'll mention that I love. South Parkway, Sam Cooper, Hale Drive area, that pocket right there, up next to all that new construction that's coming. That is a pocket where you can find some deals.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe a flip. It might not be your cash flowing right now. There is an opportunity if you go down South Parkway, which it runs north and south. No,
East Parkway.
East Parkway runs north and south. So if you go down East Parkway, that intersection between Sam Cooper and East Parkway, the southwest portion right there, going to find some houses that are a mess. You're going to find some houses that are in great shape. Yeah. So if you can find the mess and clean it up, I think you got an opportunity.
Yeah, that's right. There's cool stuff happening on Broad Street, close to Crosstown, close to Rhodes.
Weed over there. I go
on Broad
Street. On Broad,
Yeah, it's awesome.
And there's a brewery over there. There's
they're doing
Broadway
big apartment development. So there's good stuff happening throughout Memphis, and we've talked about that all the time.
All right, so 112 is good. We're still positive on that. All right, 38122.
That's where we manage the most. It's here in our neighborhood, so
we're in 38112 here.
122, yeah.
122.
Berclair.
I think it's my largest number zip code that I own. Yeah, it's just been a very strong historic. It's where I started and where you first started talking to me about investing, and I said, "Hey, where's the most consistent area? I don't want any tricks." Across the street, 38122. Let's give you the numbers. From Jan 1 of 21 to June 30th, 373 sales, 1279 average square foot, 102,000 is the average sales price. This year, Jan 1 to June 30th, 372 sales, very same, 1271 square feet, exact same, 134,935 for a 32.2% increase.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
It does. It makes sense. It's just everything that's happening on Summer Avenue. Check out Memphis 3.0. Yeah. That's another thing that Memphis has got some target areas, and Summer Avenue is one of those target areas where they're developing, dumping lots of dollars into intersections, walkability, just more sustainability for the area. It's been great.
One thing I love to mention when I talk about areas in the development, I love to steal the research from everyone else.
Chick-fil-A, baby.
They built a Chick-fil-A right down the street. Starbucks is right down the street. Chipotle's down here. So all of these companies, when they do their research, they see the cars that drive by. If Chick-fil-A is coming, the income. If Chick-fil-A is building a restaurant here, this is on the upswing. I will get as many as I can to 38122. Now, the further east you go in 38112, closer to the interstate, the better.
Yeah,
right?
The more expensive.
A little bit better housing, but you can even get over into. I'm still telling people don't go west of National.
Yeah, it's tough. It's just more challenging. Smaller houses.
Yeah.
Older houses. Less well kept. Some blight over there.
600 to 1,500 rental pockets.
Yes.
Okay, so you can get anything through there. You can get some duplexes you can find near.
Yeah.
So be careful of Pope.
Small multifamily, if you're interested, is tough. It's challenging. They don't come in the market often, but there's some around here.
Yeah, they get scooped up quick. If that tells you anything, if you list a multifamily in Berclair area, you're going to sell it. So I'm real high on the 38122 zip code. Everything that's going on there, we go up and down summer here and eat lunch, and it's just it's a great little pocket. I love coming up and down summer. So anything that you can find in this 38122 zip code is great.
Yes.
38108 Nutbush. It's kind of the
why choose that when you can choose this?
I know, and I have a few, but I'm very selective on where. The southern part of 38108. 38108. The southern part is going to be a little bit better, closer to 122. Let me give you these numbers. There we go. They call it Jackson Avenue, kind of runs right through it, man. Sweden Cream was quite the place when I was a kid. Yeah. Still there.
That used to be Jackson Avenue used to be the place, right?
Yeah.
They're the manufacturing or industrial, and it's just changed.
Plow left over there. There was a whole lot of stuff that was there.
Just changed.
Jan 1 of 21 to June 30th, 185 sales, 1,100 square feet was the average, and
Small.
$50,000.
Yep.
This year, from Jan 1 to June 30th, 180 sales, 1,173, 67,000 for a 34% increase. So that's another one of those pockets that had, really no place to go. Did I read that right, Douglas?
Well, I'm thinking, I'm just looking, that's the smallest of the 40 zip codes or 35 zip codes. That's the smallest house. 108. That 1,100 square foot is the smallest square foot.
And the lowest of our price point. Now,
so yeah,
there's some pockets over there I stay away. Chelsea, Hollywood, you gotta run.
These are small houses that aren't worth their values are low. It's just hard. Again, industry used to be over there. It's kind of left. It's kind of in, I wouldn't call it a no man's land, but it's like a pocket. It's like there's just not a lot there. It's a wasteland in the sense of what used to be is not.
That's right.
It's not, doesn't seem to be going down.
No.
But it's not thriving. There doesn't seem to be anything going in there to give it to revitalize it or give it some more life and juice, which is happening in other parts of town. Frayser, Raleigh, Hickory Hill.
Which is why I'm telling you, the northern part of that, stay away from. You're going to see me send out some 38108 houses.
Yeah.
Because I do have a group of investors that like it.
Nutbush and
Nutbush. So just be careful as you're sending them. Feel free to ask me, hey, is this in one of those pockets or not? But yeah, I'm going to send out 38108 houses. So just be prepared for those. All right. 38111.
Huge.
Our biggest zip code that we've got from a geographical standpoint, it covers the most land here in Memphis. So let me give you the stats on 38111. They call this university for the University of Memphis. 500 from January 1 to June 30th of 21, 590 sales, 1,508 square feet, 180,000 was the average price. Isn't that great? From Jan 1 to June 30th of 22 this year, 584 sales, 1,547 square feet, 221,000 for a 23.2% increase. Now, and I know I've done a lot of the talking here.
This is great, man.
This is right. This is what I talk about every day.
We manage tons of houses in 38111.
You can get a $80,000 house in 111, and you can get a $3 million home, $2 million home in 38111.
Yep.
You can find those pockets. So anything in between is great. Sherwood Forest area from a rental standpoint has been extremely strong.
Yeah, rock solid.
That school is really good.
Sherwood Elementary and Sherwood Middle. Yeah, I've got friends that teach both places.
Everything around there has been fantastic. $600 to probably $1,200 rentals around the Sherwood Forest area. Yeah. You come up around maybe some of the University of Memphis area and you get some nicer homes.
Yeah, $2,000.
You can't even make sense of the rental. Right. They're so expensive. Yeah. Pushing up on Poplar. What's the pocket of 38111 there that is
around Galloway Golf Course and stuff?
Can't really make any of that
Hedgemore
work.
And High Point Terrace.
Can't make any of that
some
work.
People have in High Point, a few. So
tough to make some of those work. But in that southern part of 38111.
Oh, man, right. By the University of Memphis, just south of the University of Memphis.
Yeah. And go ahead.
I was just going to say, University of Memphis has put tons and tons of money into their campus and into the surrounding area, which is great. It is awesome. And there's a ton of momentum at the U of M as far as, they're a research institution now. Memphis is proud of the Memphis Tigers, and they're doubling down on the university.
They purchased just recently, you mentioned the tennis center, but they just purchased that, is it Audubon? That whole park, right? Am I correct in saying that? I think they purchased that entire park for a future on-campus stadium. Rumor I heard. Another one, the Getwell Park intersection, the southwest part, I understand they're going to try to start buying those houses.
Okay.
That was in a long 30-year plan. So to build the on-campus stadium, and these are the things that they envision that you never know if they're going to work out or not, but this is what they would like to see happen.
But everything else has seemed to come to fruition.
Everything else is happening.
That South Campus is awesome. With
when I was in school over there, you didn't even want to go over there.
Yeah, but all the stadium, and we went to a track meet over there.
Indoor practice facility they built over there.
It's sweet.
There's 5 football fields of practice space over there.
It's sweet.
So that whole Getwell Park area, moving over to Goodlet Park and going up, that whole area is super strong
Yeah.
from the 38111 standpoint. So I've got no issues with 38111 if you can make them work. I even don't mind a 2-bedroom there. So
Okay.
if you can find a 2-bedroom rental in 38111, I think you're good. So $700 to $1,200 rentals probably in that area.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. All right. DeSoto County. We have not previously added DeSoto County to the zip code breakdown. One of the reasons why is Mississippi, the state of Mississippi, is a non-disclosure state. It is not easy to get any information out of the state of Mississippi in a bulk form like we're getting from Chandler reports.
Non-disclosure just means that it is legally the buyers and sellers don't have to disclose sales prices.
That's exactly right.
And so there's only like maybe 5 or 6 states in the country. Unfortunately, Mississippi's one of them.
Yeah. We're as a Mississippi resident, I will admit to being way behind everything.
Yeah.
Not just this, but every single thing that you can be behind in, the state of Mississippi's behind it.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
So I will talk about DeSoto County positively, though, from an investor standpoint, because there's so many opportunity. Horn Lake, I believe, is still on the top 10 or 15 growth in cities in the country.
Okay.
The jobs that are down there, I'll give you some examples. I was working with investors in 2009, 10, and 11 a little bit, working with another guy. And I would get on the MLS and I would search $0 to $50,000. And I would have and this is in Horn Lake, I would have anywhere from 15 to 30 options to choose from, right? Twin Lakes and DeSoto Village are the two big main subdivisions down there. I'd have that. You can't find one house listed under $100,000 now. There's not one. There's not anything down there for it. And there's still plenty of room to go. These are brick homes. They're near the city. It's a working class area. All up and down Goodman and Horn Lake, they're putting up chain restaurants, Walmarts, everything that you can imagine in Horn Lake is going up. Tenant base has been historically a little wild, but over the last 5 to 10 years, I believe, has settling a little bit. Because of the price points, you're getting a little bit different owner, you're getting a little bit different tenant. I'm super wild on Horn Lake. I'll take whatever we can find in Horn Lake. I think the appreciation number is still going to continue to climb in Horn Lake. I mean, you got to think when I just gave that example of 10 years ago, right? I was 40. I kid you not. I picked up a couple. This is where I'm wanting to shoot myself for not understanding what I was doing. But you were getting $40,000 houses that needed 10 grand worth of work that you could rent for
$800. Now they're renting for $1,200.
Now they're renting for $1,200 and $1,300, and you can get them for 110, 120 grand. So, really excited about what Horn Lake has to offer. If you can find anything in Horn Lake, take it.
And it's again, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump up to Memphis. It's up I-55. You got Goodman Road. You're not far from stuff that happened in South Haven. You're not far from stuff that's happening in Hernando. It's a nice location.
And it's on the national radar. So a lot of positive things happening for Horn Lake. Rents are going to go from $700 to $1,600.
Close to $1,500, $1,560. I'm with you.
Right in that ballpark. Let's move west. Let's
Back
move east to South Haven. South Haven, Mississippi has 2 zip codes, 3671, 38672. One of these sections, if you're looking at a map, Highway 55 is going to go right down it. On the western portion that's closer to Horn Lake, you can find some really, really solid rental homes. I just bought my first one down there on Cedar Brush. I'm over the top excited about it because we've been trying to find something down in there. It's difficult. People want to be in this area. South Haven Circle, there's a whole group of rental properties there off of Highway 51. All right. So you can get anything you want to over there, all the shopping, all the stuff that you're looking for. You're going to be in that 100,000-ish price range, 120. But those are going to rent for 13 to 1,500. They're going to work at FedEx. They're going to keep quiet. They're going to take care of their yard. It's just going to be a solid rental pocket. Now, you come down 51 and you go east on Goodman Road. I don't know why I keep getting that mixed up. East on Goodman Road, you cross over 55. You're going to start getting into a lot nicer areas.
Very higher end.
Greenbrook Parkway area is going to have some nice older homes. You keep going on Goodman and you're going to start getting into higher end real estate that may or may not make sense from a rental standpoint.
Yeah.
If you get to Getwell, Chick-fil-A, Whataburger, Kroger, Starbucks, all the Silo
National,
Square that we talked about. They've
Yep.
got our Central Barbecue coming down there. There's Mexican restaurants. There's all kinds of boutiques and different stuff.
Yeah, it's developed. It's nice. I mean, it's
Snowden Grove is a huge. They got a 8,000 seat amphitheater. There's my kids just got done with the summer league baseball. So
all those fields,
15 or 20 baseball fields. You know, I'm pointing this way because
right. Yeah.
So I live in DeSoto County.
Yeah. Several folks we work with live in DeSoto County.
A little further
it's
south
nice.
from South Haven, but it's we shop up there. We go eat up there. It's great. It's nice. So if you can make some sense out of South Haven and that area of it, please do. I'll always say go for that. Lastly's Olive Branch. We can maybe touch Hernando, but last is Olive Branch. Higher end than all of these. It's going to be harder to make that make sense.
Yeah.
But you can still find it. Hedge fund dominant in Olive Branch, to be honest with you. There are a whole lot of build to rent.
Yep.
You're probably in that 300 and up price point. There are some pockets of it that are a little bit, lower end, but look, you just got to proceed with caution with some of that. But the higher end real estate in Olive Branch is there. FedEx employees live there. You get up Highway 78. You can get right into the city real quick.
Yep. You can go up to Germantown, out to Collierville.
Yep. You can go down 78 and get to the Tupelo. Just that whole other region.
Miss, whatever. Yeah. It's a great community. Olive
God's
Branch.
country down there.
Yeah, man. It is. It's all of DeSoto County, the top of Mississippi, DeSoto County. That's what they say.
They put a sign. I see
that.
At the top of Mississippi.
I like that.
So I just to wrap up, DeSoto County, anything that you can find there really that makes sense from a rental standpoint, I'm going to say yes. Let's go after it. I mean, it's going to stay solid. It's going to continue to grow and appreciate.
Taxes real estate taxes are more affordable.
Yeah.
It's you have to pay personal income tax if you have rentals in there.
Yeah.
In Tennessee, you don't. So there's a
it's
couple of things to watch out and know and mind for, but pound for pound, it's a great investment.
That's
if you can find it. That's the hardest one to find.
Yeah, absolutely.
Finding an opportunity.
All right, anything else in DeSoto County?
I love DeSoto County.
That's it. All right. Last one we'll do today is Midtown 38104.
Okay.
All right. Let's give you some stats first before we talk about it. 2021, from January of 21 to June 30th, 263 sales. 2,100 square feet is the average. 296,000 was the average price. This year, Jan 21 to June 30th of 22, 244 sales, 1,916 square feet. Average sales price is $315 for a 6.4% increase. I'm not shocked by that.
No.
Midtown has been desirable for 20 years plus more.
100.
100
you know, I
years.
mean, it's right on the edge. It was the area to live in as Memphis grew from downtown 150 years ago.
Way more owner occupants, believe it or not, than I think you have tenants. I think more of the tenants are going to be in the multifamily spaces there.
Yep. Duplex, some duplex, but multifamily for sure.
Peabody runs right through there. Great Street. Union runs right in the middle of it. Then you've got Cooper and you've got just some other main
Poplar,
strips.
all the way from downtown to East Memphis.
I caution everybody on owning in Midtown all the time because of the age of the homes. You're going to have more maintenance.
Yep.
If you go into flip and the budget is $60,000, it's $85,000. You just don't know it yet. You'll know later because you're going to take a wall down and there's going to be some kind of old pipe. There's just a lot of stuff that goes with a Midtown home. If you do flip a Midtown home, hire a Midtown flipper construction company. Contractor. They're going to know.
Knowledgeable.
They're going to have experience and know what to look for. Call. If you're going to own a multifamily there, understand you're probably going to overpay for it. You're going to get a pretty decent tenant though.
Yeah.
Airbnb short-term rental plays
there
in
you
there
go. For sure.
For Midtown.
Yeah.
I would even throw in the Liberty Bowl development area. I'm not sure that's a Midtown zip code, but I feel like that East Parkway connection between.
Oh, gotcha. I was thinking
Cooper
on
Young.
the east side of Libertyville. You're talking on the west side where they're doing that new stuff on Cooper Young on Airways.
So the Cooper Young, I'll tell you, there's some opportunity there. I drove by there just a couple of weeks
that's
ago.
huge what they're building.
Yeah, so it's just west of Cooper Young intersection. You go up Cooper or Young and you hit what is that runs right there by the Liberty Bowl?
Airways, East Parkway.
East Parkway.
East Parkway turns into
East Parkway,
Airways
you
right
can
there.
look over and see the Liberty Bowl. They're building baseball parks, a water park.
It's awesome.
They're building all kinds of stuff over there. So
Huge
short-term rentals
investment
in this area makes a ton of sense. So I'm good with Midtown quads, triplexes. You'll find a few of those. And I'm good with Midtown if you can find something that makes it work. I am going to say proceed with caution. Because if you take a Midtown home for long term, you're gonna have more stuff come up.
Yes.
Now, if you can go into one and completely redo it, everything, all right, well then go get it.
Right.
If you can't get that right, make sure that you understand you're gonna have some maintenance issues
agree.
come up.
Yeah, I got one there that's
Same thing.
Probably wish I didn't.
Is it maintenance issues?
Yeah, it's just an old house. It's huge. A lot of roommates, and I mean it's good.
Wear and tear though is through
on
the
Evergreen.
younger crowd that rents.
Yeah, but yeah, everything we know. It's cool. It's a very desirable. It's right in the middle of the city. Yeah, and major thoroughfare. So lots of people want to be there. The medical school's there.
All that.
I mean, it's close to downtown.
Yeah,
it's not going anywhere.
Very desirable. Okay, great. Way to wrap this up today. Zip code breakdown is always our biggest show.
Absolutely.
Always the most attention to it. So I appreciate you being here today.
Man, love it. Yeah, love our city.
And we got through them. So we'll see you in 2 weeks. We've got a topic already about keeping your rent at market rent. All right. We're going to talk about that on the next one. So we'll see you guys then.
All right.